Good afternoon, 6-4 parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our weekly update. Couple real quick announcements. This week on Monday, we sent home report cards, so you should have received those from your child. Also, allergy season is getting a little out of control. We're getting low on tissues. We're going through them like crazy right now. So if anybody could donate some boxes of tissues, we would greatly appreciate that. All right, I'm going to wear 3 hats today. I'm going to talk about Mass 6, 6 Plus, and ELA. So we're going to start with Mass 6 Plus next week. We just started talking about data today and how we can collect data and some good questions we can use to try to collect data. And next week, we're going to start to talk about kind of analyzing that data. We're going to organize it in histograms and dot plots, get into some box plots. We're going to talk about median and quartiles and mode and range, all that fun stuff. So we'll just be talking mostly about data next week in Math 6 Plus. In Math 6 next week, we are going to finish up our rational number units by talking about distance and reflections on the coordinate plane. We're now graphing points in all 4 quadrants, including some negative numbers, which they haven't done before. So far, doing really well with that, though. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to work on our study guide. Thursday will be our Unit 7 quiz. And then we will get into talking about data on Friday with Math 6. For ELA next week, we are going to continue to talk about how an author creates an argument in an article using claim and evidence, how they can back up that argument with some claim, and then they support their claims with evidence. We started talking about that a lot this week as well. We'll also be reading Chapter 7 and 8 in Frightful's Mountain. On Wednesday, we will have our mid-unit assessment for Unit 1. That is going to be just like we've been doing it in class, reading an article, coming up with what is the author's argument, what claims are they making to support that argument, and then what evidence have they given us to support those claims. And then on Friday, we're going to start building our own argument about this idea of DDT. Is it good or is it bad, basically? All right, have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday.
All right, 6-4 families. Science, we wrapped up our first part of our flower unit today. We finished pollen stories, we finished flower dissection documents, and then today we just embarked into the second stage of our work with plants. And we're going to be talking about 3 processes that allow for plants to survive, and that would be photosynthesis, cellular respiration, and transpiration. Cellular respiration and photosynthesis are complementary processes. We're going to talk about that on Monday. And then we're going to talk about how these 3 processes are vital for all green plants' survival, and actually all living things' survival depend on these because of the food chain, because green plants are at the bottom of the food chain. And then after that, we're going to get into our third part at the end of week next week. This is a really quick unit. Dormancy and tropisms. These are actions by plants that increase their survival rates. So if you have not caught on, we're going to talk about how plants survive and reproduce, and then different things they use for survival. And dormancy and tropism will be how we end the week. Hoping for not as much rain as is in the forecast, and off to social studies we go.
All right, friends. Happy All Star Wars Day Eve. I had to wear my Star Wars tie again today. For tomorrow is May the 4th be with you. Remember, it's a high holy day. Now, today, thank you for those families who donated for our dinner party. Today, we had a dinner party in social studies class, so the kids were sitting at tables. We had tablecloths out. They were having a little snack, and they were talking about the ranks of the people that they were taking on the role for these different social structures. We are now finished with social structures, and we will move on into the decline of civilizations. And so we're going to be talking next week and the week after that about different civilizations and how they decline. The fall of Rome will be an important part of our conversation. We'll be talking about some of the Mesoamerica societies like the Aztec and the Inca and the Maya and how they declined. We're going to talk a little bit about the Byzantine Empire declining. So we're looking at the fall of civilizations in these next 2 weeks. And then after that, we push on into the language arts, we push on into the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and Reformation as we kind of finish out the year. So that's where we're going with social studies. Once again, thank you very much for your participation with our goldfish and our Capri Suns. Talk to your parent or your kids today about how they did in the dinner party party, what kinds of experiences they had, and what Yelp review they gave me, because that was kind of fun to read. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next week.